So, it is an election year in the United States. We know this. So, there is some controversy around at least one of the candidates. Now, you may not know this, but Donald Trump is actually quite a controversial candidate in the US. And an organization called CNN, which is an unbiased bastion of true journalism, has assembled a set of voters whose opinion really does represent the sort of heart and soul of the country. An unbiased assortment of voters who have not yet decided who they support that CNN has assembled. So, shall we have a look, chat? Just a little looklet at what these voters say. And I will warn you, though, there is one more thing that's common among these voters, which may disturb you.
How women voters react to the former president's hush money trial will be of particular interest to a campaign that's lost that vote by double digits the past two presidential elections. Our Randy Kay recently sat down with undecided Republican, Democratic, and independent women voters in North Carolina, which the former president narrowly won in 2020. It's part of 360's continuing series, The 53%, which is the average proportion of women voters in presidential elections since 2000.
So you're saying that men are minority. Interesting.
Randy's report.
Oh, I was like, come on over. Would you like a plate? Come on, girl. Thanks for putting us together. It's not the catch and kill that's the issue. It's the cover-up that's the worst part. You know, it's the devil's in the cover-up.
Well, let's put it this way. The accountant and me said the numbers don't add up. Okay?
So chat, press 1 if you're already suffering. Pig says, I hate them already. Duchess, you are being forced to be engaged by this material.
The math is not mathing.
He completely sees himself as Teflon. Like, he does, nothing sticks to him. And I'm really nervous that he's starting to look like he's right.
One of these...
He hasn't done anything wrong, you idiot.
is going to have to take him down. I just can't see how you slither out of 90+ charges.
How many?
Because they're bunk charges, woman. If you don't see how it's happening, maybe propose a different theory. How unbiased do you think they are? How undecided do you think they are, chat? Really? Undecided, but they all hate Trump. Thanks, CNN.
How many of you believe that Trump should be on trial for this? Raise your hand. All.
Undecided voters. They are undecided, but they all hate Donald Trump. So, okay, especially women of Cabal, but everyone, I'm asking this. Press 1 if you believe that CNN did this specifically to try to manufacture consensus because that will more likely cause women to believe that this is the only valid position for women to hold, because even their unaligned, undecided women voters unanimously hate Trump. I can guarantee you that is the strategy CNN is using here. Yeah, unaligned voters, we don't care that everyone knows that all of these people hate Trump. That's the point. Women will think that even independent voters all hate Trump, so they should too. This is very bland propaganda, but let's keep listening to what they say. Respond to the words of these women.
All of you.
There is not.
Let's just go ahead and say that. Let's go ahead and say they always be suspicious of unanimous votes. This is no exception. What is this lady saying?
That Trump should be on trial for this. Raise your hand. All of you.
There is not only smoke, there is fire.
How many times can you say it's a witch hunt?
Where's the fire then? You've not produced it. What's more, you can have smoke without fire, or at least without the fire you think, if someone else is adding smoke artificially. If someone has boxed a bunch of smoke and released it. Look, there must be a fire. Meanwhile, there's no fire at all. Indeed, Duchess, all of them do. Biden's family, plenty of fire. Absolutely. Yeah, there's smoke and proof of fire there. Such as the only smoke is that which has been blown up their collective asses by communist news network. Well said.
I'm personally tired of hearing it.
So if he's misappropriating campaign funds or, you know, election funds, then yeah, he needs to be prosecuted.
If we have...
Yeah. And if he's in London slashing people with samurai swords, he needs to be arrested as well. I agree. But he's not. What about Biden? I don't know if he's misappropriating campaign funds, nor do I know if he's slashing people to bits with a sword in London. But I do know he's been involved in other crimes, which are essentially demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt. Some of them.
One person who is above the law?
You mean Joe Biden? Also Hillary Clinton, who have been demonstrated, as I just said, to have committed crimes and have not even been prosecuted, not even been called for prosecution by the press. Chat, press 1 if more than simply, as I said before, these women have been coached or are actors, or that this is coordinated in some way, or that this is like 5 minutes of the juiciest excerpts from like a 3-hour conversation.
Then what is the purpose of the law? Your accountant
Serve the Democrats, clearly.
wrote it down,
Right.
recorded it. You got witnesses who said you did it.
What's this for? Is this for the NDA? You know how, like, NDAs are completely legal and very common? And she broke the NDA, and now he is being prosecuted for it? Yeah, so no matter how many witnesses you have to something, no matter how much it's recorded on paper, no matter how much data there is to suggest that you did it, if it's not a crime, then stop prosecuting him for it. These women couldn't have voted harder for Biden unless they were dead. Well said. Better dead than blue, am I right? Oh no, same thing.
It's not about who he's paying for and what he's paying for.
That's the inequality even in this story, because the porn star, we're characterizing and castigating the women.
Right.
They were doing a job.
So
If you think it's castigation to call her a porn star, why are you also saying she was just doing a job? That is her job. Allegedly. I don't really know what happened to me. I don't care. It's his business.
prosecutors say that Trump has violated his gag order, attacking prosecutors.
Okay. Gag orders do not need to exist in the US and are unconstitutional. Press 1 if you agree. It's not just that they're unconstitutional, they don't need to exist. In the UK, and the US does this better, in my opinion. The US has the correct answer on this. We do it wrong. In the UK, the press can be gagged on a story if the nature of the story, the reporting about the story could affect the jury's opinion. Okay, that's the wrong way of doing it, but at least a method is being used. They can even be gagged on the gag, so they can't tell the public they've been gagged. In the US, the jury is removed from the public and they're sequestered to prevent them being unduly influenced by the reporting. That's the right way to do it. That's correct. Therefore, in the US, there is, as far as I understand, never a need for any sort of gags or injunctions around legal cases. And even if someone were to argue there is a need, it is not constitutional to do so. He is literally protected by the first of your amendments to speak on these matters. So fuck off.
Witnesses, jurors. Does any of this surprise you?
This person has something more powerful than money. He has an audience. He has a rabid audience that is very willing to do whatever they want. So then, does even $1,000 per violation or, you know, going to jail for any period of time, is that enough given his influence?
What has he done wrong, ladies? Ladies, nuts on your face. What has he done wrong? There's people that like him, therefore he's dangerous. Yeah, but he's not actually doing anything wrong. You've skipped a step here. How do we punish this man? For what? Like, they probably believe that just inherently what he did with Stormy Daniels is illegal, but it's not, as far as I understand. It's an NDA. Hush money, yeah. Hush money is a term used for covering up crimes, as far as I understand. And the crime is the problem. Sure, the hush money for covering it up is also a problem because of the crime. But if it wasn't criminal what they were doing, and then they had an NDA to keep it quiet, that's completely normal. Now, maybe I'm mistaken, chat. I have not looked into this case very deeply, because frankly, I don't care. It's not my business what Trump did with the fucking star or whatever the hell she was. Am I missing something here? Is there actually a crime being alleged? Or are they just making shit up? Because as far as I know, it's a defamation case, isn't it? Apparently, allegedly Trump defamed her. So it's not even necessarily about the NDA. So why are they acting like it is? And why is it a hush money case? It's not. Yeah, exactly. Contracts about paying people to not say something is not illegal. It's NDAs. It's literally completely standard in almost every industry. 90+ charges, but the most significant thing that's happened is minor business fraud. Yeah. Yeah. Charges are not convictions. Eudaimania says, I give CNN 4 years until the lights shut off. Music to my ears. Let's hope you're right. Bookkeeping case. Not sure what you mean by that.
He's going to have to go to solitary because Secret Service cannot
protect
him in general population.
Yes, you're skipping so many steps. Put him in solitary. Why? Why? So Jesus Christ. Solitary is like prison is boredom torture. It's the most humane form of torture we can imagine. Solitary is isolation torture and boredom torture. It's less humane, obviously less humane, and it's actually very unpleasant. You leave someone with no company for a few days, like especially social people, they will start going mad. People can't handle it. It is, in fact, cruel. Now, solitary, I'm not saying it's always unjustified, but it should be kept to a very reasonable minimum. Such as most people I know that suffer from TDS still believe that he wants to shut down all immigration whatsoever, that he colluded with Russia, Ukraine, and that the fine people on both sides thing happened exactly how CNN said it did. Yeah. Unfortunately, they are motivated to believe that because they have joined the influence that simply believes he is bad. It's the tribal nature of people. There are always going to be people like that. Fortunately, there are also people on the other side of that. You know, there are people on our side who also believe tribally that he's good, which, you know, has its downsides too. But you're going to find sensible people, and the sensible people, the people who are actually willing to look into these things, are almost always going to have sided with us in the end. They're the ones that you that deserve the power of influence and will gradually get it as well. But it's because the base charge is an upgrade of a misdemeanor that they could only do because New York law is retarded. I understand. The crime is bookkeeping. Yeah, Duchess, I'm not doubting you, but to what you said, if Trump shut down all immigration, it would be a significant improvement. At least for a time. Legal immigration is also a problem, much less of a problem in the US than illegal, but still, it's still a problem. I think in the UK, we should shut down all immigration for probably 10 years and then start deporting. So yeah, it's necessary. Verdon says bookkeeping, meaning that the numbers put in the tax filing was put for multiple purposes that New York declares as worthy of a felony because it in some way affects an election. Improperly documented or handled how he pays Stormy Daniels money to be quiet. Okay. Granted, that's true. I don't know then. I haven't looked into the specifics, but it doesn't sound like that's a particularly major deal. But then, of course, as Verdon says, the upgrading of it. But yeah, if I don't understand the legalistic and economic minutia of what happened, I don't think any of these women do either. Though one said she was an accountant, more likely she's probably actress. I don't know though. I don't know. Perhaps they're just wrong. Perhaps he did put it on the books correctly. Or perhaps it wasn't even his doing. Like, his accountant may have put it wrong. But it wasn't his intention.
I don't care. Put him under the jail. Put him in solitary. We do not shriek from putting other inmates in solitary confinement.
Right.
She just said put him under the jail, which is what you say if you intend to execute someone. Now, I know you don't like him, and maybe you could make an argument from your worldview that he should be in prison. But do you really think he is deserving of execution for this? Really? Duchess says shutting down loan immigration would be better than the current situation. Yes, but I do hope for a future where legal immigration is possible and reachable for those who really want to live the American dream rather than looking for handouts. I'll gladly trade the inner city welfare communities for immigrants wanting to work hard and earn their own living. Yes, that is the correct end goal. In the short term, though, it may be a wise idea to suspend that temporarily. I suppose maybe you're right, Ronald. I don't know. Grigos says, why are we listening to these harpies? I don't know. I find it morbidly fascinating. Chat, press 1 if you don't find it morbidly fascinating. You just find it morbidly horrific to listen to these women talk.
Put him there and shut up. He can talk to the walls. He can talk to the rats. I don't care.
When it comes to
That's just vengefulness. There's a good reason that justice is actually quite difficult. Like it's quite a high standards thing to do in order to keep Lady Justice blind, so that she only knows what the person is accused of doing. And what the evidence is, not who or what they are, not what people think of them, how popular they are. None of that should matter. That's what equality under the law means. Sorry. And this, the black woman here is advocating for a vengeance system, not a justice system, which is, of course, horrific. You have the view watcher, indeed.
Your president, do ethics matter?
Yes.
Yes.
The leader.
What a stupid question. Do you think that the person in charge of your country should be good? Because, of course, they're taking it to mean, well, Trump isn't. Are these people good people when they believe ethics matter? Well, yeah, but does that mean they have a good idea of whether Trump is ethical or not? No, it does not. How dare he defend himself? Linkster on Rumble says, where is Camel Toe Harris 2 in this hag group? Yeah.